All right, guys, we're back. Little pee break, you know, all that good stuff.
That's what it's all about, dog.
So Rich wanted to talk about
I
Steven.
gotta ask Steven. I just want to ask Steven because he's like, honestly, I know people think this is sarcastic when I love talking with Steven. I love debating with Steven. I think Steven's intelligent. Right? No, there's not a lot. There's no punchline coming. One of the reasons Unfiltered always used to work was that when you were engaged and you weren't playing fucking Eve Online or Hearthstone or whatever the fuck you were doing that with.
He was not playing Hearthstone.
Right, you're probably doing that right
now though.
Oh, I should have been playing Hearthstone. I'm trying to grind for Legend. Thanks for reminding me. Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
The point is that we very often had differing viewpoints, but I actually liked the fact we did. Most people have a different viewpoint to me. They go, yeah, well, you're saying that because you're racist. Right, you're a moron. Out you go. You have always qualified your position. So I have definitely seen you tweet that you think Donald Trump is racist. And I want to talk
just
to you
racist,
about it.
Not sexist, but racist.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into the grabbing by the pussy thing if you want. If you want, right? But I know you've said stuff like that, Steven.
Okay, so before we begin this conversation, because I know there's 50 million people whose fucking 3 inches are throbbing in their pants right now, waiting to come out of this. When I say racist, I mean bigoted in general, okay? I want to start this off before people start.
That's fine.
Before people
Joe,
start saying,
Steven, that is a good qualifier. That is a good qualifier. Very intelligent. Thank you.
Okay. But I think he's racist against brown people regardless. But I can make the stronger arguments for bigoted. So
whoa, don't you fucked it up. You fucked it up.
The biggest thing.
You already fucked it up.
The biggest thing I think that points to bad Trump memes, that makes Trump look like a bad hombre, aside from the fact that he actually said bad hombre, okay, was
I like that. That's cool, right?
I think the Mexican judge thing, I think, looked really, really, really bad.
I get this brought up a bunch. So I've already got a defense.
Oh, boy.
Shit.
No, listen.
Why are you defending this? Why?
Did he say... Okay, 2 questions.
Yep.
Right. So, did he say that he couldn't do his job as a judge in every case because he was Mexican and Mexicans were intellectually inferior to white people? Yes.
No, but he did say it in every case about Trump.
2, did he say that in this particular instance, because the mass media have reported that I am anti-Mexican, this could lead to a conflict of interest, and therefore I would prefer a judge that was removed from this? Yes or no? He did say that, right?
Right. Conflict of interest.
So okay. So let me just
Mexican.
now that you've my UGO, and I got a 3. So this is the 3rd point. If you consider that racist, do you consider it also racist that we have jury selection, where literally lawyers look and say, I've got a black defendant, and therefore I want as many black people on the jury as possible because black people are statistically more likely to sympathize with black people? Because that's a thing that happens in the American judicial system. Is that racist?
Kind of.
Right.
Am I allowed to talk yet?
But it's institutional racism that we're all right.
Okay.
You're talking about very different things, okay?
I don't think I am. He said, I don't want to judge.
Wait, listen, I'm an American. Let me talk to you because I'm an American, so I can explain to you why you're talking about very different things, okay?
Let's do it.
In the United States of America, okay, constitutionally, you are granted a trial by your peers.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So do you see the problem if you were a black person or a white person and you go up to the stand and every single person on that jury is somebody of a different race than you? It doesn't feel much like a trial by your peers, right? When people make arguments,
I wouldn't mind.
Okay.
If I was in court.
Okay, I'm talking about most. I'm not going to go by personal autistic anecdotes because what you're saying is not even true. You don't even believe that. You're not even. You don't. Well, but you just said something really fucking retarded. I don't think you believe.
Why is that retarded? No, I do believe that. Why would a black person give me a harder time just because I'm white?
I don't know, dude. Okay, so the idea. Listen, no. Can I do this? Can I do this? Because you're comparing two totally different things.
Just let Steven talk. Just talk. Just talk. Steven, just talk.
Never mind.
Just talk.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Jury selection is just as prudent as.
Black people up there. If I'm innocent, black people can judge the evidence, Steven.
Steve, just talk. Just let Steven talk.
All right,
Talk, Steven,
I'll shut
talk.
up. I'll shut up.
All right.
Okay, juries are random citizens that are selected, okay? They don't have any kind of qualification, any kind of training that, juries are random people that are selected. Federal judges, okay, go through training that's their job. They are a federal judge. They've got to do a lot to earn that, right? So if you call into question the validity of a jury, right, you're just saying that maybe this jury isn't fair because there's a random fucking people, whatever, right? A judge is somebody that has gone to fucking school and done the bar exam and has been a lawyer and a prosecutor and worked their way up to become a judge. These are two fundamentally different things. When you can't just say that, like, well, if a jury, has to be of a certain makeup, then why can't I say the same for a judge? These are two completely different things that serve two completely different functions, right? Constitutionally, you're not guaranteed the right to a judge.
Different sentiment? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What we're saying is that in the legal process, and you've just said it there to me, that apparently we should consider race to be a factor in a judicial outcome. And that's all Trump did.
Okay. Race is not a factor when you're talking about the judge. It's when you're talking about the jury because you have a right to a trial by peers, right? You don't have the right
What
to
if
be...
he said it about a lawyer? Would it be bad? If he'd said it, I don't want to make...
Yeah, because a lawyer is an educated person that goes to school
so
to understand...
So we can say it about a juror, the person who's ultimately going to be making the decision.
Yeah, the jury...
That's a random person versus yes.
Yeah,
it's a different
jury
person. Yes.
It's a different kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. It's a different role.
No,
different.
No. It's the print. Right. Forget the role. I agree about the role. I ain't retarded. I know that a juror and a lawyer and a judge all fulfill different functions.
Then why are you saying that they should all have the same standards?
No, because that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. I'm not saying they should have a different standard. We're talking about Trump. We're talking about Trump's standard. Now, what you're saying is it would be okay if Trump said, well, I don't want Mexican jury. You'd be like, yeah, that's cool. And by the way, the press would have crucified him if he ever said that.
Yep.
Right? So he
didn't.
Okay,
but
say
we're
that.
not talking about what if.
And if he said it was a Mexican lawyer,
if Trump said no. If Trump said I don't want to have a jury full of 12 Mexicans, I'm totally okay with that. That'd be fucking retarded. And you shouldn't even say Mexicans. You should say Mexican Americans or Hispanic people. If Trump were to say I want to, yeah, because if you're an American, you're an American.
I like Latino. Is Latino okay?
Okay, sure. We'll go with Latino, right? If Trump were to say, if Trump's thing went to court or whatever, and Trump had oh my fucking God. If Trump were to have 12 people on the jury that were fucking Hispanic, then I would agree. Like, okay, well, this is pretty fucking stupid, right? I don't think anybody would have a problem with saying that that's ridiculous.
No, but he said it was the judge.
Yeah, and the judge who is a federal judge.
Vocal about the issue. It wasn't like you weren't just some fucking surprise. Like, oh, I got a Mexican judge. Yeah, I might want to be careful about this. The judge had said some shit. So Trump just said, I don't know if he should be the guy because there might be a conflict of interest there. How's that racist?
Because he was saying it because the guy was Mexican.
No, he was saying that in this particular instance.
If you disagree with that, then we need to listen to
the exact thing. That's the basis of this whole thing.
Because here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. He didn't say he was an incompetent judge because he was Mexican and Mexican people
Yes, he said that because he was Mexican.
If he said that, then I sit here and I go, wow, that's pretty fucking racist.
Okay. So if I tell you that his exact quote was literally, it's like, listen, I'm building a wall. He's Mexican. If that was an exact quote from him, do you think that's racist? Because I'm pretty sure that's an exact quote from the interview.
No, actually.
Okay, so listen, okay? He's Mexican.
I want to listen.
I'm building. Yeah. Okay, then. Okay, here. I don't know.
The implication there is he might have family members or friends that are impacted by that political decision.
My gosh.
No, why is that racist? Why is that racist? That's called conflict of interest. It's not racist.
If there is a conflict of interest, it's that severe, then the judge is supposed to recuse himself.
All right, let's be clear about what racism is, because you guys are contributing to the dilution of this term. Racism is where I believe somebody of a different race is inferior to me, and I'm superior on my racial basis alone. That is bullshit. Anyone who believes that is a piece of shit. I fucking loathe racists. I've been on anti-fascist marches. One of the proudest moments in Birmingham's history is that when people came through and they were talking white rights and white power, the average working man on the street went out and beat these motherfuckers up and said, get the fuck out. We're Birmingham. We're multicultural. We don't do that.
Wait, what are you talking about? When? Because this doesn't happen in the fucking 40s and 30s. What do you mean? You're talking about now or?
Like the last 5 years.
Okay, sure.
Right? So
I mean, depending on which Trump rally you were at, I mean, it depends on what you might hear.
This is before Trump. What I'm saying is, I'm from a place that understands the value of multiculturalism and different ideas.
Wait, no, the United Kingdom, didn't you guys just vote to leave the EU because you don't want immigrants coming into your country?
Don't bring Brexit up.
We're not talking Brexit today. We are definitely not.
Brexit and Trump are the same thing. They're two sides of the
similar,
exact same coin.
It's similar, but
well, go watch Mark Blythe. Go watch Mark Blythe, the economist, who explains very valid economic why the fucking these two things occur within the same space of time.
Hold on. Are you of the contention that most economists agree that Brexit is going to turn out good for the United Kingdom? Because no serious economist, that's not true. That
well, actually, no, that's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong. Because again, I will point you to some serious economists
go ahead.
that believe that, and I'll do that right now. But also, here's what you need to believe: that we were told that our economy was going to collapse. Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Europe. Well, what actually happened? We experienced growth.
What? Nobody said your economy is going to collapse overnight. Okay, so because the most extreme...
Yeah, they did.
So you're right. The most extreme people on the internet said that something was going to happen. Okay.
So
I mean, you haven't even... Okay, well, no, you're right. Never mind. You're right. If you're telling me that the people that were on the most extreme position on the left were wrong, then you're absolutely right. We'll just move on to the next topic. Yeah.
No. But here's the point. You're bringing Brexit to the table, right? Like, I mean...
But no, you just said your economy didn't collapse, so you're right. So I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong, dude. Yeah. Move on.
I can never tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
I am, because what you said was fucking retarded.
Well, so what's
you're 100% going to be in a worse off position. You're 100% going to be in a worse off position 5 years from now or 10 years from now than if you wouldn't. I don't even know if you.
How do we know that?
Well, because why would you be in a better position? There's no reason to be.
Yeah, I'll link you to something. Keep talking though. Tell me honestly, I'm being genuine here.
Because every single bad thing that you had about the EU before is going to be 10 times worse because now you're negotiating on your own because you've already shunned the union. They're not going to give you favorable treatment after you fucking left. Otherwise, everybody would fucking leave. And so every deal that you had before, which were already favorable, you were already exempt from the Schengen area or whatever, the agreement for free movement or whatever. You were already in control of your own fucking borders, right? All of that shit now, you're going to have to renegotiate on your own fucking time. Every other deal with any other country around the world, you're going to have to renegotiate on your own time. Norway had a lot of these similar deals in place. They said that it sucked having to be in that position, and you elected to be in the same position they are because you guys don't like fucking brown people, right? Like, I mean, that's essentially...
No, that isn't what
Yes, that's exactly it, dude. It's the same sentiment with Trump. Immigration has been like look at fucking Merkel's statements recently saying that she's going to fucking ban burqas and shit, right? All of Europe is moving to the right because of the fucking immigration issues.
How do you feel about burqas?
I hate all religion, dude.
Exactly. So keep in mind, burqas aren't even in the Quran.
Okay, I don't know about. All I know is that Merkel, the extreme fucking leader of the all left progressive shit, has started to move more towards the right as election season fucking comes up.
Let's keep it about Brexit. I got something here. Do you consider the Financial Times a decent source on finance?
I don't know anything about them, but go ahead.
Financial Times. It's the biggest financial paper in the world.
Paper, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
so.
Sure.
I'll link it. I'll send it in the Discord, since that's where we live these days. Good old ChanManV. Right there it is.
We do have a Skype window too. If you
whatever. You made your fucking
version?
bed, ChanManV.
Can you copy paste me something? Because I have to be a subscriber to read this.
No, you don't.
Oh, is it?
Oh, you mean to the FT? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. You do.
Oh.
Well, anyway.
Is that right? Oh, yeah, you're right. There's a paywall.
I am a subscriber. Because I like to know about these things. I studied economics, by the way, so I'm interested in this. So the economy grew by 0.6% after Brexit. So it wasn't as good. There was a very brief period for 2 days where we sunk to 80s levels of value for the pound against the dollar. Then our economy grew, and everything else actually. Savings ratio, household incomes. If you measure everything, actually, we've done okay. There's only been overall a 15% depreciation of the value of the pound, which sounds extreme, but these fluctuations aren't abnormal. In 2013, we had a very similar disparity based on international policy. So the reality here is that the idea that we've completely tanked our economy is a lie. The people
stop saying that. No one is saying you've completely tanked your economy. What the United Kingdom is like, no,
over 10 years we're going to be worse off.
Yes, worse off, not completely tanked. The United Kingdom is what, the fifth largest economy in the world?
You should go get a job as an You're a legend.
I don't have to. Every economist is already saying that. What? I don't. Why would I go and say all the same things that
the
all
same
of them
economists who said we were going to tank the fucking economy? That's my point. How can I trust these people?
Okay, the problem, because maybe this is a habit you picked up on Breitbart. You are taking the most extreme statements from the opposition, and then when the most extreme statements don't come true, you go, well, look, everybody was wrong. No reasonable person was saying that when Brexit happened, literally tomorrow, it's going to be the Walking Dead in the fucking United Kingdom, and you guys are going to be on.
Actually.
Okay. Yeah, the craziest of people. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, I'm pretty sure the United Kingdom is the 5th largest economy in the world. You guys are going to be okay. Pretty much, no matter what happens, okay? What I'm saying is that you're going to be worse off. That doesn't mean you're going to be impoverished.
It's now opened the door for us to renegotiate treaties individually with countries, that we're allowed to re-explore the Commonwealth. You know, this is...
Okay, do you think that countries that are also negotiating treaties with the rest of the entire EU, right, which I believe is the largest market in the world, there's not going to be any pressure during any of those negotiations from the EU?
Here's another... Yeah, well, of course there will be, but here's another question, right? Do you think that the people who've been in the EU, been in the Eurozone and failed, the Portugals, the Ireland, do you think if you'd have given them an option to get the fuck out, Greece, do you think if you'd given them the option to get the fuck out, they wouldn't have got the fuck out?
Greece?
Greece.
The country that faked their papers to get in? Why would they want out? They're the people that are benefiting the most from being in the EU.
They're definitely.
The fucking financial support.
They're definitely.
Right. No, listen. Again, this shows your ignorance on the topic. Not being insulting, I wouldn't expect you to know about Europe and European politics. Trust me, there isn't a single Greek person who wants to be held accountable for what happened. As far as they're concerned, the Greeks got duped into the fucking Eurozone. They went in, it fucked them, right? And yeah, they had
Greece
some other...
was fucked way before the Eurozone and the shit going on with the Greek government and all that shit. Greece was fucked way before the EU.
Now they're being held accountable. Right? They're being held up when they got to pay back.
But the big problem is they lied to get in. They cooked their fucking books to get in. That's one of the big reasons why people are so salty about them being there. You know this, right? The Greece cooked their books in order to get in. They wouldn't have been accepted if they would have been honest about their finances.
Is one of the most corrupt fucking countries that we had in the EU.
Yes.
You think I don't know that? Yeah, okay. But that doesn't mean that just because they were part of a system and they were corrupt and they had a corrupt way of life prior to it, that being in part of the Eurozone didn't contribute to their collapse. They had a bunch of shit. They took on the fucking, Olympics. They took on the European Championships for soccer. They fucked themselves in so many ways. But here's the point. Right now, they are dying on their fucking knees, and there's no relief from anyone in the Eurozone. What is the part of being what's the point of being part of a fucking group if it's all give and no fucking take? And that's what's happening in Greece. Trust me, again, I live with Greeks at university. Right, like I got many Greek friends. That's a Trump thing to say.
Okay,
but I'm telling you,
okay,
Greece won out. Greece won out.
What does this have to do with the United Kingdom? What does this have to do with the United Kingdom?
Because we were one of the first people to take Brexit on as a serious thing. Yes, I'm amazed it went through. I'm amazed it went through. I thought Trump had a bigger chance of winning than Brexit had a chance of going through. Honestly. But the reality is that once it goes through, all the left are trying to push against it, trying to make it not happen. Papers falsely reporting that the majority of people want a fucking, revote. It's gibberish. The vast majority of British people wanted out of the European Union for various reasons. Not all financial, by the way. So,
wait, the vast majority? I thought it was like a 52-48 vote or whatever.
All right, the majority. The majority of people wanted the fuck out, and there's a reason for this. There's a reason for this. I'm gonna
because they hate immigrants.
No, dude, that ain't true, man. Britain's built on immigrants. Britain's built on immigrants.
That's about it. All of Europe right now runs on immigrant labor, but everybody fucking hates them.
No.
What were the reasons?
Real built on immigrants. I'm going to tell you about real immigrant.
I'm an American.
Real immigrant is. You don't know what a real immigrant is.
Country.
I'm going to tell you about real immigrants.
We don't even have people that are
built by the fucking Irish. The original immigrants that get forgotten in all of the noise. The Irish built Birmingham. They came over. All the Irish bars get shut down. They get driven out. They get driven out by cheap fucking labor, right? And now the average immigrant in Birmingham is fucking Somalian. Okay. That's true. Okay. I live there. I know. I see it, right? But that isn't even a problem. People aren't voting against the Somalis. People ain't voting. They're not even part of Europe. People aren't voting against the Poles. Here's what they're voting against. They're voting against this. We want the right to govern ourselves in Britain, yeah? That's the perception.
You already have the right to govern yourself. What do you
don't.
mean? Why not? You're not part of the free trade agreement. You still get to use the pound. What do you mean you don't govern yourself?
We still have to take stuff from Brussels. This is the thing you don't get.
You have to anyway. No, this is the thing that you don't get. Listen, you're part of the EU. You have to take stuff from Brussels in order to trade in the market. Well, guess what? When you leave the EU, which I don't even know is going to happen at this point, when you leave the EU and renegotiate those same things, you're still going to have to take the same fucking restrictions. How do you think you're going to gain access? Okay, so in Richard Lewis's world, okay, the European Union, the European Union watches the United Kingdom leave, okay, and then when they come back and beg for access back into the largest market of the world, they give them more favorable terms. No, why would they ever do that? That's what. No, don't say no, because that's what you just said would happen.
No, I did. Well, I definitely.
Okay, wait. So no. Don't talk about anything else. I want you to explain this exact point. Okay. I'm telling you that if you're complaining. Okay. I am telling you that if you're complaining about any regulation or whatever bullshit you have to meet to trade in the European Union, that when you leave the European Union and you go to renegotiate those deals, all those same fucking regulations still exist, except now your negotiating power is going to be as a non-member state. Why do you think you're going to be more favorable to negotiate there than when you were actually part of the market?
Right. Okay. So, thank you. I'm right. Just hear me out.
We got to wrap this Brexit thing. The last couple points. Guys.
No. Let me just. Right. So you know who Mervyn King is, right?
Nope.
Right. Well, he's the former governor of all of the Bank of England, right?
Okay.
This guy, who has worked his entire life in finance, has said Britain is going to be better off financially, right? And he said that because by negotiating individually with each country, we will be lesser off with, I don't know, Germany, France. They'll fuck us in the ass, right? You're right. But one of the agreements coming into the EU was we couldn't have certain agreements with Commonwealth countries because we colonized them and the EU didn't like it. They thought it was an unfair advantage. One of the reasons when we joined the EU, we were held up as fucking pariahs is because of our colonial past. And it's disgusting. It is. But there's a lot of fucking Commonwealth countries that have a strong affinity with Britain. And again, you can look at that this is why I don't buy the immigration nonsense. Because let me tell you, I know Jamaican people, right? And we got a great relationship. Britain, Jamaica, right? Like they come over here. Like, Jesus. It's not like everything that came out of our fucking empire was terrible. We did some.
I mean, we came out of your empire, kind of, right?
Yeah, you did all right. We did some unconscionable shit. I ain't denying that. And I fucking hate the idea.
Do you think that the trade that you're going to get with the Commonwealth is going to be anywhere near the amount
some of these countries
with the largest market in the world? The EU is the largest market in the world.
We had to forego those agreements to be in the European Union. We had to share existing trade agreements to be in the European Union. And again, I'm just going to say this. Chris is eager to move on from Brexit. I'm just going to say this. One of the things that really fucked us up in Europe was the way they handled litigation, the way Brussels handled litigation, which was you could submit something to be voted on, right? And if it got voted against and Britain voted against it, they could just resubmit it immediately. And we had to vote on it again, and we'd vote against it again, and then they'd resubmit it immediately again. There wasn't any limitation. It wasn't like a 4-year period of governance.
This sounds like a really minor thing.
A minor thing.
So your argument is that you have trolls submitting legislation again,
from Brussels.
And then your second thing is that you want to be able to trade with Jamaica instead of Germany. That's what I've got. That's what I'm getting out of this.
You don't understand. You think we're anti-immigrant? I'm showing you examples about how we want our trade agreements with countries that you would label entirely immigrant on your basis. And on top of that,
I'm not talking about trading with immigrants. I'm talking about having them in your country. That most people that are making these emotional votes that happen with Trump and happen with Brexit are voting because they don't want these people in their country.
Who hates Irish in Britain?
I'm talking about brown people. I'm being frank. I'm talking about brown people, not fucking Irish or English or Norwegian or Finland.
So it ain't about immigrants.
Oh, no, I brought right.
Yeah. So it ain't about immigrants. It ain't about immigrants.
It's about brown immigrants. It's about brown immigrants. It's about brown immigrants. It's about brown immigrants.
So what are you talking about? You honestly think that the average British person doesn't like fucking brown people? Like, are you crazy?
Yes.
Are you crazy?
Yes. In general, yeah, I think that's the case. I think it's similar with the Trump. You don't like the idea that your culture.
Have you been to London?
Whatever. Nope.
You've never been. So have you been to Britain?
Nope.
Right. Let me tell you.
All right.
Right, yeah. Now you fucked up and you know it, right?
Now, okay, hold on, wait. So you've talked to every single person in Great Britain. You've talked to every single person in London.
I don't need
to. This is going to lead to nowhere.
I've been
totally going to lead to nowhere.
So you've talked to every major city. So you've talked to a few hundred people. So let's see, population of the United Kingdom. Okay, so there are 64.1 million people in the UK. Tell me about.
Do
Okay.
you think the average British person is racist? Do you think that?
This is.
Because I'll tell you, I live in Birmingham. It's one of the most multicultural cities. My old house, before I moved to Atlanta, it was equidistant from a fucking mosque and a synagogue.
You got it, dude. If you've talked to like 100 people, I mean, you've got a good thumb on the pulse of fucking Birmingham or whatever.
Do you think the average Brit is racist? Yes or no? You gotta answer that.
I don't like to use the word racist because you turn it into a million things, but yeah, I do. I think so. I think that white people in general in the West, I think, are pretty not
so
big
bad because that ain't the reality.
But the problem is, Richard, when I try to talk to people that are pro-Brexit like you, and I ask why do you want to leave the EU?
I'm anti-Brexit. I told you that.
Okay. Well, when I ask for reasons, you give me these weird things like, well, sometimes they can submit legislation, over and over again, and it's really bad, and it's like my legislation is getting DDoSed by this one dude that's trolling in the fucking in Brussels. And also, maybe we want to go to Jamaica and buy some real dank kush, but because of the trade agreements, my fucking grandpa, has multiple sclerosis and now he's in pain because I can't get some of that 420 blazer, right? Where are the fucking arguments? This is every single
Here's the argument.
We did a lot of Brexit on stream. Let me tell you what happens when you talk to somebody about Brexit. This is how every argument boils down. Okay, well, I voted for Brexit for a lot of reasons. Economic reason. Okay, well, what are your economic reasons? I mean, jobs and jobs aren't being affected. Okay, so it's not economic. Okay, well, maybe it's about our sovereignty or whatever. Okay, what sovereignty? Well, I don't like the fact that, the EU writes all of our laws. What laws are the EU writing for you? Well, there's that thing about bananas. Oh, okay, so it's not really about that, right? Okay, right. So you go on and on and on. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe it was the money that fucking Boris fucker promised your NHS, right? When you guys left 250 million or whatever pounds a week. Or Farage or whatever, right? Yeah, right. In his little bus with that shitty fucking face on, whatever.
Yeah, and they agreed that was a lie. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, sure.
We even had a lawsuit against them.
Okay, sure, cool. All right. So all of these things fall away until finally you hit back on the one thing that they won't back down on because it's the only point they have left is, well, I don't like the idea of all of these refugees and all of these immigrants coming into the country and, these people all over the place. It's changing the culture. And that ends up being the main reason, the main motivating reason why these people are voting for people like Trump or for things like Brexit is because they don't want all these immigrants displacing their culture.
Listen, look, Brexit and Trump are two different things. I've seen a lot of intelligent people trying to. It ain't the same. It ain't the same. Let me tell you, if America was part of a group, right, and Canada was in it, and fucking South America was in it, and Mexico was in it, right, and that group dictated certain elements, how you had to live, you would consider freeing yourself from that as a necessity.
What if the United States and Canada and Mexico all existed this in this free trade agreement that involved North America?
I like them.
Called NAFTA.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, but right? You know what I'm saying. Come on, dude, don't compare that to the fucking EU. Ain't the same.
Okay, let's wrap up Brexit. Let's wrap up Brexit. Okay, this is not.
It ain't the same.
This ain't going anywhere.
Just admit it ain't the same.
Somebody should link that one dude, that guy, because I had like 15 different arguments on my stream about this shit, and then somebody linked. You've got some talk show dude in Great Britain. I don't know who the fuck the guy is who had the caller, and this guy was the archetypal caller that I had on every single fucking call-in, and this guy was the same fucking thing, and it was it felt so good to listen to a Brit deal with the same problems that I have to deal with on stream, where people come on and they pretend that they're pro-Brexit for 15 different reasons, and then when you peel back the layers, you find out that at the end of the day,
one guy was this closet fucking racist. The entire world thinking on that. Well, ain't you the man? Let's get back to this thing, right? Yeah, I understand you have a trade agreement with fucking Canada and South America and Mexico and all these other countries. Tell me where they can pass legislature on an American citizen. Is that true? Can they do that?
I mean, it's not like the EU can force legislature on you guys that you guys
No,
don't
they
agree
can
with.
actually.
Really? Then why were you able to vote to leave?
That's why we voted to leave.
Okay, so you were always able to
All
leave.
countries can vote to leave. It's a collective.
So clearly, nobody in the EU is forcing you to do anything. If you always have the option to walk away.
No, it ain't that
so
though.
Right?
This is the point. They do force you to do stuff because if you're in the group and the group passes legislature, you have to do it.
Okay, but
we
I feel like
to keep the pound. I thought that was retarded at the time.
You have it. And you also fought to stay out of the free movement area, the Schengen zone area, right? Schengen? I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. You fucking people have names for everything, right? But you fought to stay out of that too, and you had control of your own borders. So you have
a clause that can leave. You have a clause you can leave, but it's got to be voted on by your populace. That's why we held the election. That was the whole point.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that if you guys have favorable agreements in some areas, okay, in that you're not part of the free trade movement thing, you still got to keep the pound, okay, and you have the opportunity to leave at any time, it doesn't really sound like people are forcing you to take on all of these oppressive laws. And every time I ask people, what are some examples of these oppressive laws that come from the EU, what are they? No one can name a single one. Are you getting locked up for saying fuck the EU? Are you getting locked up for saying fuck Merkel?
We're getting locked up for a bunch of shit, actually.
Yeah, but there are the things that come down from the EU and shit. Like what are some of these laws that were so oppressive that you had to escape from?
Right. Well, again, this is the key thing to the average Brexiter, which I am not, by the way. I supported Remain for economic reasons because I believe the economists, because I'm an economic student.
Last point, Rich. Last point.
So the overall pressure, right? Pressure. So the whole point was, I wanted us to fucking remain because I thought it would work out better for us. But actually, economists had lied. It hasn't worked out that bad long term. Right?
What do you mean? We're not long term yet. This hasn't even.
All right, we've already had this. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it?
Can we get back to Trump?
We're getting there nowhere with this. All right. This is it. That's it. All right. You disagree on the Brexit thing, obviously, but
but I don't understand that because he's from a country that wouldn't want to be governed by any other entity. Did you guys ride across that fucking river to kill British people because you thought like sharing was nice?
We're in trade agreements with countries all over the world. We have a massive trade, one of the largest trade deficits in the world, if not the largest one, with fucking China. We are engaged in NAFTA. What?
If you got a shitty deal,
I don't think we have a shitty deal. I think we negotiated the deal like we wanted to. If we didn't like it, then we would renegotiate
it. We negotiated it, and then we said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's come back and fucking...
Yeah, but you didn't say fuck it in any intelligent way with intelligent... You literally left it up to a fucking referendum, to the average fucking retard to vote for. Do you think we should or shouldn't be involved in this?
You know what? In everything we've talked about, this is the key problem, right?
That I think the average person is a fucking idiot? I won't back down from that. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's the problem, mate. You're on the side of the city people that think we can't govern ourselves.
No, it's not city versus whatever. But you can't because people are too stupid to govern themselves. They vote for stupid things. They don't have understandings of the issue. That's why we have...
What's the point of a democracy then?
It's a democratic... Well, in the United States, it's a democratic republic. You vote for people to represent you. You don't leave everything up to fucking referendum. That's insanity. I don't want people voting. And then there's tons of political theory on why you don't do things. That's why we don't leave things like civil rights up to votes in the United States. That's why we have protected classes in the United States. That's why we have a Supreme Court in the United States.
Do you think if you had a vote on fucking civil rights in America, they'd vote against black people? Are you crazy?
In some things, if you talk about... people do it with fucking voter ID laws, dog.
It wouldn't be majority, though. It wouldn't be majority.
Well, you think voter ID is racist? You think voter ID is racist?
I don't know, dude.
It's not racist.
Probably isn't racist. There, paper please. That's not racist in Arizona. When you fucking
one of the most important things you will do in your life is fucking vote for a president. Provide an ID. And they fucking showed a video, right? By the way, on Fox News.
A video.
Fucking missed it. They went into a fucking hood, or whatever you liberals would call it. I just call it a housing community. I call it a housing community.
My God.
And they went in there and they said, "Is voter ID laws racist? Have you got an ID?" And they all went, "Yeah, of course we got an ID." You infantilize black people.
It's
Fuck
not about
you.
infantilizing.
Fuck
It's the
you.
idea. Don't play the
Fuck
agency
you.
bullshit
I
with
will
me.
play it,
It's
mate.
not.
Fuck
No,
you.
fuck off, dude.
Fuck
Voter
you.
ID laws have been shown in every single place they've been implemented that they disproportionately impact minority communities to a much, much, much higher extent than any white community. This is fucking fact. Republicans are the ones that push this along with their crazy fucking gerrymandering because the less fucking black people that vote in elections, the better off they do. These are facts, dude. It's not even up for debate. Do you disagree that voter ID disproportionately impacts people that are minority status?
I might disagree. It directly, improportionately impacts people who are poor.
Okay, and well, disproportionately, people that are poor happen to be black.
So that isn't the same thing.
Okay.
Because that might change. So
Not under Trump,
That's-
and not when you're
oh
instituting
my
things,
God.
and not
You're
when you're
gonna do that
instituting
again.
policy.
You still
Not when
haven't
you're
produced
instituting
one piece
policy.
of evidence Trump hates
We were
black.
talking about the Mexican
You
judge. And we
haven't
got
produced it.
We
You
were
haven't
talking-
produced it.
Well,
You
we're
can't
back
linked it
finally
in the
back to
thing.
the Mexican
I
judge.
linked it in the thing. It's right here. But when you're creating policy that disproportionately targets black people, how are you expecting black people to do better? That's going to change, even though now we're literally making
That
it
is
harder
so
for them to fucking
retarded
vote.
what you said.
It's true. Nothing that I'm talking about. This is the problem. This is the Breitbart in you speaking. Nothing that I've said is incorrect. Voter ID laws disproportionately target minorities. That's not up for debate, dog. If you feel that way, then let's move on because you're in fantasy land.
Right. How do you feel about certain other fucking laws that might stop and frisk? You mentioned that.
Yeah, it's a fucking horrible
Of course it is.
thing.
You think the average police person looks at a black guy and goes, "He's a criminal"?
I don't know. Under stop and frisk, that kind of seems like what was happening.
Come on, dude. Right.
I'm sorry. Do you think that stop and frisk was a successful
The
program
average-
in the United States?
We
Did
had
it
it
lead
in
to
the
racial
UK too,
profiling?
by the way, and I was a victim of that many fucking times. So don't give me it's a black thing.
Wait,
If you're poor, no, legit. If you're poor and you're in the wrong place at the wrong fucking time, you're gonna get frisked. I've had
All
it
right.
from fucking police all the time, mate.
Amen,
Well,
brother.
I mean,
Do you know how many times I've been
I feel
arrested?
it. Man, when black people complain to me, do you know how many times I have been stopped and frisked, man? It happens to white
Rich,
people too, man.
you can't
Amen.
say it
That's the
doesn't.
thing. We're from
You
different
can't.
backgrounds.
Listen,
I mean,
dude.
you can't deny. Okay.
Can you
And
tell
this
by
is
the
the
comments?
fundamental problem.
Here's the
This
thing.
is what drives the wedge.
When I was in
Drives the
Florida, there
wedge.
were so many people asking me for my papers. Well, let me see
What
your passport. So
background
why?
do you
I don't
know?
even know if
No
you're a
one-
citizen, dude.
No one's asked a black guy for that.
Oh
babe.
man, dude. No,
Are
that's
you
papers,
fucking
please.
crazy?
Papers, please is referring in Arizona, where if somebody looks like a fucking spick, you can pull them out of their car and you can say, "Show me your fucking papers, dog, to prove that you're a legal citizen." That was a thing in Arizona. It's called, people refer to it as
Right.
papers, please.
One state, then. Is that it? Is that
Okay,
what you're
it's not
basing
that
American racism on?
Well, I mean,
Is
you're
that
talking
it?
about individual like situations.
Now,
too.
come
I mean,
on,
we're-
let's talk
We're
about
not
this.
talking about
Steven,
generalizations
Steven,
Okay,
here.
stop and
I
frisk in
want
New
to
York
know
City.
your
Stop and
background.
frisk in New York City.
I know, ChanManV. What's your background? I want to know. Are you some impoverished street fucking waif? Come on, tell me. Tell me
What?
what your background is.
My
Because
background.
that's
What do you mean by-
important to the discussion, right?
What's my background? My background to what? I mean,
No,
obviously
I know
Asian.
your background.
I'm obviously
This is what he's saying,
Asian.
Chris. He's saying that if you don't have a background in being discriminated against, you can't speak for any type of discrimination.
No, fuck
whatsoever.
that. I
So
didn't
there we
say
go.
that.
You
Fuck
got it,
you.
dude.
I'm talking
never
about
been-
your background. I'm talking about your background. I think you're a rich kid.
Who, me?
Chris is?
Steven.
Oh, Steven.
No, dude.
No.
I was a fucking.
Definitely not.
You've made
That
clear
kid is-
jokes
that
along with
guy is
everyone
not
else,
rich.
dude. Come on.
No. Whoa. So having a manual labor job can't be from a wealthy family. What the fuck, dude?
No, what the fuck? No, wealthy
Oh my-
families don't
Wait.
have
You
fucking
think Rich?
cooking
You think
classes?
Steven has a
What the fuck
rich
are you talking
background?
about?
Really? Wow. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
I know many wealthy families that send their kids to do jobs like that to build character. That's how fucking insulting it is. Yeah.
I
You
don't know,
don't
dude.
think
I'm
that-
not sure. No, not really. No, I don't consider a part-time job that mommy and daddy send you on for fucking 1 month before you go and fuck around for your 4 years and paid for college on mommy and daddy welfare to be
And
your
again-
blue.
Okay,
Your
okay.
blue
Here we go,
fucking
here we go.
manual
No, come
labor
on.
job.
What's your background? What's your background?
It's not relevant to the
It
conversation.
definitely is. Because this is what I think. I think you're one of the people that might actually be fucking privileged.
Yeah, of course I am. I'm fucking white, dog, and I fucking love it.
It ain't nothing to do with your skin color, bro. Ain't nothing to do with your skin color.
Ways. I have a mom and dad
Here's-
already putting me heads and shoulders above the rest. They work their ass off. They sent me to a private grade school in high school, right? Which was fucking nice. There's some shit happened when I was a fucking teenager in early 20s, but for the most part, yeah, I think I had some shitty things that happened to me, and for the most part, I think I turned out okay. But what do you mean? What does that?
You guys are arguing like, okay,
Well,
is there no Rich?
We're
Is
talking
there
about race.
Is there economic?
I
Is
think
there?
you have a warm view on the race divide in America.
Okay, listen, you cannot have personal conversations about race or racism because these aren't things that apply to people personally, okay? If I were to put Obama in the room with a fucking redneck poor as fuck trailer trash kid and say that the white kid is privileged over Obama, that would be fucking retarded because Obama has things like class and wealth and everything working in his favor, right? And probably a good parents and background and all sorts of other shit versus the white kid, right? When you're talking about race or classes, you're talking about wide groups of people and statistics and things that impact large groups of people, not one individual and their one experience on how they've dealt with race or whatever. Because you can make an argument for anything that way, right? I could find a white person that had been beaten up by a group, that white Trump supporter, that white old guy Trump supporter was beaten up by 3 black people, right? In that fucking video, I could say like, well, there you go. There's an example. Black people all over the United States are killing white people all the fucking time. You see how horrible it is to be white, but that would be retarded. You have to look at large groups and large figures when.
Well, you've definitely gone the other way.
In what? How?
How do you feel about the average Trump supporter, Stephen?
I feel like the average voter period is probably an idiot. But
I mean, you've already told me that the average Brexit is a fucking racist.
Sure. Yeah, I think the average Trump supporter is probably an idiot. Yeah, based on everything that.
Racist though? Is the average Trump supporter a racist?
Is the average Trump supporter racist?
Yeah.
I would lean towards yes, but that's a lot harder to prove. But yeah, I would lean towards that white nationalist, that anti-immigration, that anti-Hispanic, anti-Muslim thing.
Go.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Here you go.
What?
And that's the thing. I don't think you understand it. I don't think you've been out there. I don't think you're
I do understand it, dude. I understand it perfectly.
When did you last interact with a working class, a genuine blue collar person?
When I worked my fucking carpet cleaning job, dude, and I still go and hang out with my uncle and all
How many years ago was that?
4 or 5 years ago? I don't know. Before I get into
the stream. I don't
know
for 4 or 5 fucking years.
So in 5 years, working class America has completely.
Watch them weren't running for office, was he?
I mean,
so you're going to apply that to this?
Okay. What do you want me to say? I can explain.
I'm not sure what we're trying to get at here.
Do you want me to explain why the average person voted for Trump? Do you want me to explain why the average person voted for Trump or why the average person?
Yeah, do it, because I can't wait to hear this.
Okay.
Tell me why the average person voted for Trump.
We've already talked about this. Oh my God.
For Trump. We did. The average person voted for Trump because they feel like politicians have been giving them the shaft for the past 20 years. They feel like their cities are fucking falling apart. And depending on what rural community you're from, that might be true. And you feel like Washington and large cities in general have ignored you for your entire fucking life. And now you finally have a fucking candidate that is the most anti-establishment candidate that could ever walk in front of a fucking podium. And you have the opportunity to say, fuck you to every single politician that's ever been contributing to your life, right? And you have the opportunity to vote for Trump. I think that's a big reason why you vote for Trump.
Where's race come in with them?
I think that in a lot of the immigration and religion sentiments, I think you have a lot of racial elements involved there. When you talk about fucking Muslims...
I gave you the platform to tell me what the average Trump supporter's thinking. You didn't mention race once. So what the fuck are you demonizing them for?
I also didn't mention healthcare. I also didn't mention, the military. I didn't mention education. I mean, there's a lot of things. I'm giving you a general overview of the platform. But I mean, that platform that politicians push, a lot of that includes race. A lot of that includes immigration. A lot of that includes refugees. And
I mean, in the end, it didn't even matter. We already talked about this. They could have put the biggest idiot up as their candidate and still won. Like the people didn't care. And I mean, I know where Richard.
Isn't it weird?
I know where Richard.
Isn't it weird that Donald Trump has been associated with black figureheads throughout his entire career? He lives in New York. Destiny again, Stephen, because I'm British and therefore don't understand America. Is New York multicultural?
Yeah, New York is one of the most liberal cities, probably. And
Trump is one of the quintessential New Yorkers.
Do you think that having black friends means that you can't be racist? Is that what you know that's like the classical well, I have a black friend.
No, actually, do you know what?
If they KKK that had like black friends and shit, right?
If they are genuine friends, then yeah. If you genuinely care about them, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, you can genuinely have friends and think that like a race as a whole is, just kind of fucked or less intelligent in general, or just genetically predisposed to be dumber and still be friends with those people.
Who would have a friend that they look at and think you ain't an equal to me.
I mean, I have fucking friends that have worked at fucking Breitbart. I'm just kidding. But it's
no, good. Go on, say it. Finish the
right?
sentence.
Oh
Finish
my
the
God.
fucking sentence.
But I'm saying,
I'll tie you in a knot over it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But it's possible, right? It's
No,
the same
no,
thing can
say it.
happen. The same thing can happen between men and women, where you genuinely have friends that are women, but you genuinely think that women are just dumber than men and just aren't as capable
but I
as men
don't
and
think that.
belong at home.
Am I
But
mentally
people
ill?
do it. But people do that. My family is like that. My mom is like that. My mom, I think, genuinely likes women and men, and she's fucking sexist as fuck. My mom thinks that a woman's place is in the house, that women shouldn't be allowed to join men clubs and shit because it's too distracting for the men. My mom doesn't think that women should be in any combat role ever, right? My mom is very, very, very sexist, but she still likes women and has women friends and whatnot. Like, it's very possible to hold these positions at the same time, to have friends that are black and to still be racist, or friends that are women and still be sexist.
See, that's where I gotta draw the fucking line, because you might hold a fake position, you know,
It's not
like
fake.
why isn't it fake? You're telling me like I can somehow hold the cognitive dissonance in my brain?
It's not dissonant though. You do it
It
out
is.
of love.
I think black people are retarded. That's what you're saying to me. Right?
I think
so
no.
let's say I'm a
Let me
racist.
give you how this works. I got a friend. He's a real cool black guy. He's not like the other dudes. He's real cool or whatever, and he's done well for himself despite being black. You know, it's awesome. I think in general, black people are dumber than the average white person. It's, it's just what happens. I mean, whatever it's because of the African genes or slavery or whatnot. I think that genetically, black people are just dumber and less capable than white people. I mean, I'm still friends with a lot of black people. They're cool. Me, no, but I'm telling you that a person could definitely say this. As somebody that was from a religious family, I hear this shit all the fucking time, and women do it too. People like this is one of those things that you maybe only get growing up in a religious family, but like I can see the same thing happening with certain Muslim people. When you talk about like women being forced to wear burqas and shit, there are women that think that's beautiful. There are women that are like, I think that we should have to wear these things. It's awesome. We protect our body. Our body is safe.
Yo. Can I just point this out though? Someone just said in Twitch chat here, they said, Richard, how can you be this retarded? I love my dog, but it's clearly inferior. I mean, shit, dude. That guy's a racist right there, right?
No, but it's true. But people can do that shit. People can do
He's
that
a
shit.
beastist. He's a speciesist.
No, but I'm just saying that people can have these positions where they think.
Yeah, all right. Maybe I'm the fucked up one because that's never entered my mind at any point in being alive. In any point where I have existed.
Having a religious background gives me a little bit more perspective on that. Then I
don't
know
have
for
a
the
religious background. I got nothing.
All right.
Well, like I'm telling you that there are a lot of religious people that there are things that you might see as being fucked up because you're progressive or you're younger or you don't have religious parents that religious women even would defend. Like when you talk about like banning women from combat zones, banning women from certain types of work, right? Women today see that as like, well, this is fucked up. Like we should be allowed to go to school. We should be able to do this. Like this is bullshit. But there are older women that'll be like, no, what are you talking about? Your role is in the house. It's a beautiful thing. You are part of a family. Your job is to do
Come on. One generation before, like our parents.
I honestly think it's like this. Like I think a lot of people have tried to inject race into the modern paradigm, and fucking race has suddenly become about a bunch of shit that ain't about race. Like we talk about.
I guess like it might not be about race, but when people are literally screaming like, "Oh, fuck all the Muslims! I don't want them in my country." Oh, and also fuck Mexicans! I don't want them in my country. Like I don't know. Like at some point, like I have to start to wonder.
Islam, Steve.
I don't know. I don't like any religion really.
Right. So why wouldn't you criticize Islam?
I will criticize Islam. I think all religions are fucking stupid. Okay, fuck religion. What about it?
No, but which part about Islam specifically?
Like, I don't like any parts.
I mean, if you're talking about criticizing Islam, you're going to talk about criticizing Christianity. I mean, that doesn't
any part that has spooky
you're totally steering him at
higher powers are parts that anything that
totally
rely on you believing. Anything that relies on you to believe in a spooky boogeyman is something that I would criticize as being retarded.
Yeah, but everyone says that about every religion. What about Islam? Since you hate religion.
What about Islam in general? I don't know.
I'll do it. I'll go.
They have the spooky boogeyman. I don't fuck that shit. I don't know.
So what? The fact they have a god? Every religion has a god.
Yeah, I think that's why they're dumb. That's why I'm not religious.
Right. What about the other stuff?
What other stuff? Everything stems from that, believing in the boogeyman.
Okay.
So everything that stems from that is probably fucking retarded.
See, that's what I'm worried about.
What?
But listen, 2 years ago, you know what you would have said.
What would I? Oh, what?
It wouldn't have been like this. Wouldn't have been like, we hate the boogeyman. How'd you feel about Buddhists?
I don't know.
Oh
Why
my
did he
God.
I don't know if
Oh,
I don't think.
here we go.
Isn't it
Does
split like
Buddha
some
have a
Buddhists?
boogeyman?
Here we go.
Aren't half the Buddhists into that like Zen spirituality bullshit or
Nah,
whatever?
that's
I don't
just
know.
Japanese.
What?
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I studied Buddhism. I know about this. What about Hindus?
I guess if you're Hindus
about
believe
Hindus?
in sacred shit,
They
right?
go, yeah,
have,
they
like,
got multiple
cows and shit.
boogeymen. Some
Yeah.
of them are monkeys. Or you got the guy with the arms. Where do you stand?
I think they're all fucking stupid. What do you mean?
Right, so you think they're all stupid. But
Yeah.
like, how do you feel about certain belief systems and how they might be
Any
pernicious
belief
and make
system
you
that
feel
comes
so
from a spooky higher power is stupid. What can you just get to the point instead of trying to bait me into whatever you're trying to get me to say? Like,
I ain't trying to bait you.
Where are we going
okay,
here?
I mean, I'm not religious. I'm an atheist. You're not going to find me defending any religion. I think they're all stupid as fuck. Any religion that gets its morals and shit from some
So would
spooky
you
higher
be
power
willing
is retarded.
specifically to criticize Islam?
Yeah, sure. I think it's fucking retarded to be Islamic. Yeah.
Okay, cool, good. I just wanted him
Wait,
on
what are you
record.
He's just trying to get it clipped, is what he's trying.
I wanted him on record. I wanted him on record.
Okay, all right.
Thank
Are we
you.
done? All right, we done talking Trump? You want to keep talking Trump here? Any
He
last?
still didn't prove why Trump was racist. He used that fucking Mexican judgment.
Can we listen to this? Can we just listen to this? I linked it. I'll link it like for the 5th time. There you go.
God. Do you want me to actually? All right.
Okay, let me know when we start. Okay,
It's going.
so we can all start at the same time. Okay, ready?
I'm going to do
Wait,
very well.
go back,
with
Chris,
this,
go back.
the Mexican
Shit,
citizen.
hush!
Mexican
Shut the
heritage.
fuck
No,
up!
go back. No, you're leaving us behind. Go back.
I
Go back,
am.
Chris.
No.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Mexican
Here you go.
heritage.
Wait, okay, wait. Tell us when to start, okay?
It's starting. God dang!
No,
Just-
count it down, you
Wait,
fucking dumb
5,
piece of shit.
4, 3,
Yo.
2,
Wait,
1.
wait for Richard Lewis. You have it up, Richard? Wait.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall. Okay, I'm building a wall. I am going to do very well with the Hispanics, the Mexicans.
So no
everybody.
Mexican judge could ever be involved in a case that
Well,
involves you?
He's a member of a society where very pro-Mexico, and that's fine. It's all fine. But
Except
I think,
that you're calling into
I
question
think he
his
should
heritage.
recuse himself.
Because he's
Then you
Latino.
also say, does he know the lawyer on the other side? I mean, does he know the lawyer? A lot of people say
But I'm
yes.
not
I don't
talking
know.
about that. I'm talking
Well, no,
about
that's another problem.
But you're invoking his race when talking
Here's
about
what I'm
whether or not
saying.
he can do his job.
Jack, I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I'm trying to keep business out of Mexico. Mexico's fine. There's nothing.
But he's American.
the
He's an American.
He's of Mexican heritage, and he's very proud of it, as I am where I come
But
from.
he's
my
an
parents.
American. You keep talking about
Jake.
it's a conflict
Jake,
of interest because
Jake,
of Mexico.
Are you ready? I have a case that should have been dismissed already. I have thousands of people saying Trump University is fantastic, okay? I have a case that should have been dismissed. I have a judge that never, ever gives up. Now we lose the plaintiff. He lets the plaintiff of the case out. So why isn't he canceling the case? So we thought we won the case.
So you disagree with his rulings. I totally understand that.
Not
But
me.
you're
I've had lawyers come up to me say, you are being treated so unfairly. It's unbelievable.
Isn't-
You know, the plaintiffs in the case have all said wonderful things about the school, and they're suing. You know why they're suing? Because they want to get their money back.
I don't really want to litigate the case
You have to.
of Trump University.
Because
What
if he
a-
was giving me fair rulings, I wouldn't say that.
My
But,
question is-
Jake, if
yeah.
you were giving me fair rulings, I wouldn't be talking to you this way. He's giving me horrible
But
rulings.
I don't care if you criticize him. That's fine. You can criticize every decision. What I'm saying is, if you invoke his race as a reason why he can't
I think
do his
that's
job,
why he's doing it.
But is
I
it
think
that-
that's why.
I think that's
doing
why
Okay.
he's doing it. Did you hear
All
it?
right.
Wait, no, wait. We're not done.
That's it. That was the end of the
Oh.
video.
I don't even know what the fuck I was listening to.
What do you mean you don't know? He literally said it. If I invoke his race as a reason, and he's like, well, I think that's why he's doing it. This is like, you can't get any closer to.
But he was he
Being
gave
racist.
reason for a conflict of interest though, like
He
in the beginning of
barely
that.
mentioned something, but
What?
then he went on the race and race and race and race and race. Like he's Mexican American and he's proud of his heritage. I'm
He
cutting. off
might know the
freaking-
lawyer. He
No,
might
no,
know this. There's
Did
things.
he specifically give the
No.
conflict of interest?
the
Yes
very
or no?
beginning of the
Okay.
conversation
So
is
here's
all.
the thing. If we
Right,
don't agree,
that's
if
all
we
about it,
don't
isn't
agree,
it?
we're
No,
never
what-
gonna agree on anything. having to do
What's
with
that right?
this. This is like a
Okay, this is
Star Wars
okay. This is.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm
This is
glad that we
cutting
all
crime if it can
agree that Richard Lewis's conflict of interest statement was fucking correct.
Oh my god.
What's the conflict of interest was him being Mexican.
In a
Or our
case where
Mexican
someone had been
heritage.
right. So let me hang on. Let me just Stephen. You like hypotheticals. Usually your hypotheticals involve rape or something extreme. So let me
Okay.
give you one that doesn't. Let me
Oh,
give
shit.
you one that doesn't. Right?
Okay.
You are in a court case. Right?
Okay.
You are a let me think. You're a member of the Kakwa tribe from Uganda. Hear me out. Now, the Kakwa tribe is the same tribe that Idi Amin was from. They were a tribe that was wrecked in Uganda. They got wrecked. So you're a member of the Kakwa tribe, and you've moved to America. And then from nowhere, from fucking nowhere, the judge is a member of a former tribe. He also moved to America. And he rose through the ranks. Right? And he's just a judge now. He don't give a fuck about any of that tribal shit that was left in Africa. But you're a little bit edgy about it. Because the Kakwa tribe is the most put upon tribe in fucking Uganda. And this guy turns around and says, oh, this judge used to be in this tribe that used to wreck me. I'd rather he weren't involved. Would you say that was a conflict of interest or not?
How
would you
big
say
are these tribes?
You should look into African tribes. You probably don't.
I don't. I don't know.
Racist. There's a racist. There's a British racist. Obviously, all I ever do. But anyway,
Sure.
the point still remains.
Because if this tribe is like 24 people large, and the guy knows his fucking brother, I think that's a lot more.
Question.
It does.
No, it
What?
doesn't.
If someone's coming from fucking, yo, that dude, that nigga was at my fucking YMCA, and I know him because he fucking beat me up
Say
every
bad
day after
words
school or
against
some
him.
shit, okay? And then you're like, well, that guy is, I can't have this guy in my fucking case.
Question.
And you compare that to a guy
If
that
you
isn't even
believe-
born in Mexico, that was born in America, that is an American, born
If
and
you
raised in
believe-
America. How can you compare these things?
If you believe someone's ethnicity might impact on their decision to give you a fair trial, is it racist to voice that? Yes or no?
If it's just their ethnicity, yes.
No.
There has to be
listen.
more. Yes, there has to be more than just their race.
No, it's again. I've explained. It's not about just their race.
Okay, what
But-
else is it then?
If it was racist, he would say, "Whoa, a Mexican judge? What the fuck? These brown
That's what
people
he
can't
said!
judge white
That's
people."
like what
He
he
didn't
said!
say that, dude.
He said, I'm
He
building a
said-
wall. I'm making
He
deals that are
said,
bad for
he
Mexico.
said, because I've been involved in making legislature against
Okay.
Mexicans, his outlook might be compromised. He never said he was
Because
inferior.
why? He's an American. Why would he care? Because his parents were Mexican?
So again, so there you go. So then you extend that logic to the jury system.
No!
No.
That's not...
Oh my God.
Apple is.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
I need
All
to
right,
bring
we're
I
done.
gotta bring my lawyer
We're
friend in because I have to explain because there's a
We're
difference
done.
between
What
a
is
trial
that
by peers
example?
and jury selection
Oh my
versus
God.
a federal judge.
I think
These
if you
are
can make an
totally
argument
different
that anybody involved in the judicial system might
okay,
have a
all right.
racial bias, you can make that argument at any level, yes. So either expunge it from the one, and we just like, hey, it doesn't matter, and therefore jury selection based on race is also racist, or we say, you know what, maybe. I don't care which. I don't have a dog in the fight. As I said to you earlier in this show, Stephen, you would want 12 black guys to judge? Yeah, I would. Because I'd be fucking...
Okay, well, in America, we've decided that that's not how our legal system works.
Yeah, well, America might just be racist then.
maybe.
Okay. All right.
Or realistic
Should we-
that you don't want to go on a fucking jury and be a black guy committing a crime in Indiana and have a fucking jury of like 12 fucking
me
old
tell
fucking
you,
white dudes.
If I ever
on
found
the fucking
myself...
jury
Ew,
deciding
if I
whether
ever,
or not...
if I ever found myself in court, right, and 12 black people came out as the jury, do you think I lean over at my lawyer and say, what the fuck is that? They're going to put me
Your
in jail.
lawyer would try to get the case thrown out, yeah, or he would ask for a different jury. He absolutely would, dude.
Do you think I'm going to say, well, good for him, right? But he better do it secretly. Because
No,
I
he
ain't going to...
wouldn't.
I ain't gonna ask for it. I don't care. Your peers are your peers. I
Oh,
see black
man.
people as my peers. I don't care if it's 12. I don't care if it's 1 on our fucking jury. I don't care.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You're all being racist by implying I
Let's-
need a white guy in there to vouch for whitey.
All right.
I
all
don't
right.
need that.
That's gonna be it. I'm gonna wrap that up. Topic number
Right,
2. 2 hours.
Yeah, dead people. Dead
2
people.
hours. All right. Let's
Dead
talk.
people.
Let's talk about dead people.
I want to hear about how Stephen used to jerk off to Carrie Fisher. Let's talk about that.
I love
Okay,
all
let's
the
talk
Carrie
about.
Fisher.
You did, right?
Everybody
Who the
loved
fuck-
Carrie
No,
Fisher.
why the fuck would I jerk off to Carrie Fisher? No, dude, half the people talking about
Love
her death don't
Carrie
even know who the
Fisher,
fuck she
dude.
was. It's like the new fucking meme now, is to pretend that we all cared about her. It's fucking retarded people, dude.
Well, you don't care about Carrie Fisher?
You don't care about
No, I
Princess
don't- I
Leia?
barely
You,
even
you
fucking knew her,
monster.
dude.
You fucking monster.
What's wrong with you, dude?
I don't know. She was in the Star Wars movies, and then I didn't know anything else about her except some funny quotes. But now everybody's acting like their fucking mom died, dude. I don't know. That shit is kind of retarded.
Dude, what the fuck?
How big of a Star Wars
There's
fan are
some
you,
celebrities
Steven?
you're right about. I mean, come on, dog. But like Carrie
Listen,
fucking Fisher? Come
when
on.
Steve Irwin died, that was a national tragedy, okay? An international
In
tragedy.
Australia,
Okay?
I was going to say an Australian
When
died,
Robin
and you're upset
Williams
about
committed
that.
suicide, okay? These are tragedies, okay? Carrie Fisher, fucking, I am not convinced that most of these people give a
You
fuck
hate
about
women,
anything about her.
dude. I'm just
until
going to
she
go on a
died.
limb
How
here.
big of a Star Wars fan are you,
know,
Steven?
I know when you started coming around to Trump. It was when he said, grab him by the pussy, and you were like, wow, I'd love to grab this Carrie Fisher by the pussy. Yeah?
No.
I muted.
All
He's muted.
I had to
right,
drink some
Rich.
hot chocolate
Tell
in
me
order to get
about
through this
Carrie
fucking
Fisher.
shit.
What?
What? She was the princess fucking
How big of
hair
a-
or whatever.
How big of a Star Wars fan are you?
I'm the biggest Star Wars fan, dude. I love Star Wars, dude. My midichlorian count is through the roof, okay?
All right, Rich.
Listen,
you
this
not be
happens
sad
every
today?
time a celebrity dies. Everybody fucking does this shit where they pretend they were the biggest fucking fan because they all need attention in their lives and they need to pretend that they're personally fucking disturbed by the fact that
Would
this
agree.
random fucking celebrity died. I'm sure that like 10% of or 5% of the people
No, I
were
hate
genuinely
that
big
shit.
Carrie Fisher.
I hate that
Okay,
shit.
okay.
You didn't see me crying on Christmas Day with George Michael, which, by the way, no one's talking about AIDS. Fine. Let's not talk about that. Fucking Carrie Fisher, though, like, she was in Star Wars, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Come
she
on.
was a cool dude. She was like,
She's a
she
cool
seemed funny
dude.
as fuck.
Did
She
you
did
not
seem
see
like
her
she was
video?
almost a
Cool.
dude. She was like a
was cool
dude,
as
man.
fuck.
She
If you
totally
saw her
was.
quotes and she seemed like she was really fucking cool. She was really frank and blunt about fucking drug use and everything
Yeah,
that went
she was
on the
great.
movie sets.
Have
and
you
everything.
read
Like, yeah.
Postcards from the Edge?
Nope.
It's fucking good.
Or the
dude.
movie. That's a movie. too.
I'll buy it for you. I'll bring it out to CES. I'll see you there. I'll give you. I'm telling you, read this book. She was talented, man. And like
Yeah,
60 years
I'm sure
old.
she was.
Shit, man.
Yeah,
What?
60 is young as fuck, man. When the celebrities
young
dying,
as fuck,
they
dog.
are fucking
And
young.
like,
yeah, it's,
you know, it's sad. I mean, it's sad for the franchise too. I mean, I don't know how long. I mean, if she was supposed to be in the other movies too, or whatnot. But now it's, you know, she's probably gonna have to be CGI'd. But it's
ChanManV,
definitely-
practical. He's thinking about CGI. That's what
I
I love
mean,
about Chris.
the
That's what
thing
I love
is-
about him.
It's sad.
Yo, Carrie's dead. What should we do? I just CGI that shit.
No, I don't want them to CGI. That's the problem.
Right, they already
No,
CGI that one dude in the new movie, right? The general guy.
They CGI'd her
Jabba.
too. They CGI'd her too. In the new,
Nah, I mean,
spoilers.
shit, man.
But-
They did that with Oliver Reed. You know, in Gladiator. Remember that?
So, Steven, has there ever been an actor and actress that, you know, it's been your favorite movie or whatnot,
Yeah,
and it
you
just
go.
made you sad when he died?
Steve Irwin, dude. That guy was an American fucking hero, dude.
You're such.
He was
Damn.
Australian.
You are full of
I
shit.
don't give a fuck, dude. He belonged to us. What the fuck does Australia have, okay? Listen, he
Wow.
went to Australia
That's
to
like
shoot.
some inverse
okay?
Trumpism.
He went to Australia to shoot his fucking film, okay? Okay, no,
Oh my
listen, not even
God.
America can lay claim to Steve Irwin. Listen, I remember when Steve Irwin died, I was at fucking Walmart, and people in front of me in line started crying when they found out, okay? Steve Irwin was a fucking national treasure, okay? An
There were.
international
I
treasure.
bet there are more
He was a
people
man of the
crying
world.
today. I bet there are more
No,
people crying
bullshit.
today about
Nope,
Carrie
zero
Fisher.
chance. 0% chance. I will bet my
Rich,
child's
more
life
people
on it, okay?
crying
'Cause I'm not
about
that
Let me
Carrie
just be
Fisher
clear.
right now.
Let me just be
or-
clear on this. You cried when Steve Irwin died.
I don't cry for fucking anything. I'm a traditional man, okay? I never cry. Ever.
Traditional
Well, you're
man.
But
sexist.
if
Yeah,
I was
he is
going to
sexist.
cry, if I was
Clearly.
going to cry over the death of a celebrity, Steve Irwin probably would have been the one, or Robin Williams.
I didn't cry when Robin Williams died. I'm trying to think the last celebrity death that made me cry. Fuck.
I don't know if there has been a celebrity that I've actually.
Nah, I mean, obviously
cried
when you're a
about. I
kid,
don't
though,
think.
right?
Well, because celebrities tend, well,
because
Heath
they don't
Ledger's
die
death.
young. You know, like most celebrities don't die young.
Heath Ledger would be
You
the
cried
right-
when Heath Ledger died?
What is-
No, but I'm saying that. Wait,
yeah, he
why are you
died young.
laughing?
He died young, but
No,
I don't
know
think.
about
Yeah,
that.
Heath
I don't
Ledger
think-
died young as
I don't
fuck
think
and
he
was an
did
insanely
anything.
talented actor.
Yeah, but I don't think he
Steve
did anything
used to
iconic.
fucking,
enough.
you know, with the old
Wait,
Brokeback Mountain.
What did ChanManV just say? What?
I don't think he did anything that was like. I mean, obviously he was fantastic in Batman, but I don't think he did anything iconic enough for a little kid to be rocked by Heath Ledger dying at a young age. Is what I'm trying
What
to say.
about the Joker?
I don't think necessarily a lot of young people, you know, either watched Batman or I mean, like young people. I'm talking about like little kids.
Okay, I think that
Yeah.
the Heath Ledger Joker is probably one of the most iconic villains to emerge in American media. Probably
It was, but
over
okay,
the
so
last decade
you're
or
right,
2
but-
Apart from
decades.
Donald
You're right,
Trump.
no, you're right. But how many people cry over a villain dying? Like Like, how many actors have played a villain?
Yeah, because he was dead in real life. What's wrong with you? You fucking, what is wrong with you? Obviously, they cried about him, not because he was a film, because he's dead in real life. He took them pills, you mad cunt. What's wrong with you?
Oh my god.
What's wrong with you, Chris?
Oh my god. Okay. I'm not going to bother arguing with
died,
that.
or a lot of people
Michael Jackson,
Michael
yeah, Michael Jackson dying. I think a lot of people were.
That wasn't sad.
A lot of people. A lot of people were sad about Michael Jackson dying.
Oh, Michael Jackson dying was sad. There was a bunch of kids holding their assholes, going, "Thank God!" Like, are you fucking serious?
Listen, Michael Jackson was a very disturbed individual.
Yeah, you ain't fucking wrong. You gotta defend
Listen,
that.
Richard Lewis, how many rides have you gone on fucking Wonderland with fucking Michael
So,
Jackson?
okay, no. So you're telling me, Richard, you're telling me, no, Richard, you're telling me more people. You think more people cried about Heath Ledger dying than Michael Jackson dying?
Heath Ledger?
Heath. I said Heath Ledger.
Sorry. You maybe spilled my drink.
You're just being an idiot at this point. You're being an idiot at this point.
Listen, okay, here we go. Okay, listen. When Heath Ledger died, it was sad. I think a lot of people were pretty sad that he died. Maybe not crying over it because he's just not the kind of guy you cry over. Steve Irwin, okay, is a nice, hilarious guy, family figure that you cry when he dies because it's Steve Irwin.
Yeah,
okay,
I give you.
Carrie Fisher.
I give you that.
It's kind of sad that she died, but I'm pretty sure that 90. This is my thing. 90% of the people that are so sad about it today probably didn't even fucking know who she was a week or two ago, aside from a few funny Tumblr quotes. So it's just a little bit irritating when people act all like,
"What, Carrie Fisher?"
Yeah.
Yo, everyone knows who Carrie Fisher is, dude. She's like, right.
This is the this conversation is half sarcastic and half.
They show you Star Wars, and before you know it, it's like you got this stirring in your lunch.
Okay.
She's like the first jerk off.
Okay, so this might actually. I'm not even being facetious. How old are you?
Oh wow, you're gonna play that card?
Yeah, I am. How old are you?
Do that to me?
Well, because when Carrie Fisher came out,
he wasn't even born when New Hope came out. Let's put it this way: he wasn't even born when New Hope was out.
We weren't getting
do that to me on that.
Both of you guys weren't born when New Hope were out.
Getting boners yet? Okay. When I watched A New Hope, I don't even think I knew what a big
penis meant. You weren't even born.
So I didn't have the time to make that association. Wait, when did that shit come out?
Oh wait, the 70s. You weren't even born.
No, not even once. No, because I watched these movies when I was super young.
So no. Was your first jerk off then?
I think it was Penny from the Proud Family. I'm not even joking. You remember that Disney cartoon?
What's the Proud Family? I don't even know that one.
Let me Google.
Penny from the Proud Family. Wow. Let me see that.
I remember that day very well. It was the first day when I discovered.
Remember that day very well.
What
the fuck? This?
Very confused.
Yo, she's a clown, dude.
What?
Yeah. And we embarked on our early journey into hentai cartoons. It was very
jerked off. Your first jerk off was a cartoon.
She's got that little freckle on her face.
Is she Asian? What is this?
No, I think she's black.
Maybe Chris, I am. Not everyone's
actually.
Asian,
it might not even been her. It might have been the one woman in that in the Invisible Ghost movie where the guy sucks on her nipple and you see her nipple moving like with like a ghost mouth on it, but you don't actually see it. That might have been it. I don't fucking know, dude.
You legit.
This was like 20 fucking years ago, dude. I don't know what my first fucking jerk. He really thinks.
Listen. What?
Oh wow, he's got the eyes. He's got the squid.
We all made mistakes. There was a thing in the UK called the Get Along Gang.
Hollow Man? Was that what it was called? Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was the rape thing. No. That was the Invisible Dude with Kevin Bacon. Anyway,
yeah, there was. Remember
there was a rape scene in that.
Boob is floating because he's like sucking on it, but he's invisible. That might have been the first one too. I don't know. Those are both in very early times of my life. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say there was this thing called the Get Along Gang. Okay. And the Get Along Gang was a bunch of animals on roller skates. And
okay, I didn't do the furry thing. But...
How did we?
Yeah, I didn't want to either, but her tail was in the air. So there was this thing called she would call Penny. So that's mine. There you go. It's all out.
Okay,
so we've all made mistakes. As I'm saying, look, I'll help Chris and fucking Steve out of their degeneracy. I mean, Chris, you've not volunteered nothing. You ain't said nothing.
About what?
Anyway, hey, real talk. What I was trying to say.
No, I want to hear what Chris jerked off over now.
I don't even remember.
Listen, I'm trying to make.
Remember?
When you get my age, dude, you don't remember the first time.
Everyone remembers.
I'm serious. I don't even remember. It wasn't to Carrie Fisher. I can tell you that. It wasn't to.
So
Carrie
one of
Fisher.
Carrie Fisher. So was it? Come on.
It wasn't. It wasn't Carrie Fisher. I know that for a
Chris?
fact. But that's
Me
If
and
you
about
know
all
who
I
it
can remember.
wasn't,
Me
you
and
can only know
Steve
who it
laid
wasn't
it
if you know who
bare.
it was.
That's true. I can't guarantee that it wasn't her then if I don't even remember.
Was it to a geisha?
Geisha. I don't know. It wasn't.
Yeah,
to a
just
geisha.
stop and think
It
about
wasn't
it.
a geisha.
In my culture, I didn't have to jerk off. Family.
Oh my.
I'm
Family.
It got real.
All
I
right,
got real Trump.
Let's get back to. All right,
Anyway,
Carrie Fisher. All
point is,
right.
you better cut right by the end of this show. You better figure it the fuck out because it
was
weren't
some
your
kind
wife.
I don't even remember what it was. It's probably some kind of. It's probably some porn movie way back when. I don't remember.
Right, so which one?
honestly. Or Mag
What
or
porn-
something. I
what
don't even
porn
remember.
movies were you watching?
I don't even remember, dude. That's the thing.
Christopher Chan. Me and Destiny, right? We were fucking. I don't know about Steve. I was digging in hedges to find little tatters of porn magazines.
Oh
This
my
is true.
god! Wow.
It's even called Grumble. Grumble in the UK. It's even got its own words. You go in a hedge, you find a porn mag. You're like, wow, this is amazing. You show it to your friends. You definitely don't
Mag.
jerk off together because that
jerk off. Wait, you definitely don't. Yeah, yeah.
You
okay.
definitely
No
don't.
circle jerks back then.
underwear,
dude.
the underwear magazines and shit. Oh.
Yeah, right. What was it, Victoria's Secret catalog or something?
Well, we never got that kind of race
They-
shit. It was more like a Target catalog. But they would have like one or two pages on like bras or whatever.
Yeah, well, you know.
Okay, all right.
So
Let's get back to
Chris,
this.
when are you gonna
Let's get.
confess?
I don't fucking remember, dude.
Steve,
I
that's
seriously
not fair,
don't
eh?
remember. I would tell you, believe me.
You
I
don't,
don't actually
remember your first
I
jerk off?
honestly don't remember.
Fuck you. Every guy remembers it. I guarantee.
trying to
Watch
think.
in the chat. Type your first jerk off. It's coming.
All right,
coming.
let
It's coming.
me.
So what was it?
I'm trying to think.
Don't be embarrassed. It don't
I'm
matter.
not
It don't matter.
embarrassed. I'm not
It don't matter if it
embarrassed.
was Miss Saigon or whatever. Come on.
It's like, dude, I'm way older than that.
I've tried, Stephen.
Tried what? Oh, that's okay.
No, I mean, I didn't
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember.
Trying to help this guy. Just
I'm trying to
confess.
help
Feel good
this
about
guy.
yourself.
Oh
Jesus.
my god.
Look, everyone in the chat's going, come on, ChanManV, tell us who you jerked off.
I'm
Oh
trying to
my
remember. I'm
god!
trying to remember.
Actually,
Probably.
I know the first pornographic image that I ever saw.
What was it?
I remember the very first pornographic image I ever saw. It was when I was younger. I got on the computer. This is in the early
me
ages of the
think.
computer. We had a Pentium 4, 1 gigahertz processor. Okay, and I was
That was a
looking
long time
for
ago? Oh my god.
on
okay.
Yahoo.com. I was looking for Dragon Ball Z games, and I remember googling around.
No wonder you're
Oh my
autistic.
God.
What
And
the
I
fuck?
remember googling around, and there is a picture of, I think, Videl floating in
Videl.
the air,
shit.
being
That's
fucked
too
by
much.
Cell's tail. I think that
about-
was the first.
Not
picture.
Cell. Not Cell, though.
Yeah, that was the first pornographic image, and I didn't get a boner, or maybe I
God.
did. I didn't masturbate. I had no
Oh,
idea.
my God.
I was very confused. I remember that was the first pornographic image that I'd ever seen in my entire
So what did
life.
you
I
do?
remember the
What
first
did you do?
pornographic.
What
Nothing.
did you
I
do?
saw it and I was confused for a little bit, and then I closed it and I just kind of moved on. I don't know. It was very.
Yeah, right, Chris, come on, dog.
The neighbor. I remember the first
That's a
pornographic.
hardcore
I remember
rendition
the.
of
I
your show.
remember the first
On my
pornographic pic I've
YouTube
seen.
channel.
I bet I can-
I remember
bet
the
I
first
can- that
pornographic
gold.
pic I've seen.
I
I
bet I
remember
can
the first
find
pornographic
it
pic I've
there.
seen. That was like a neighbor. A neighbor had a. I don't remember what magazine it was, but had a porn magazine way back when. I remember that. I still don't remember my exact.
So I used
first
to have
jerk
this
off.
friend called Simon, right? We used to fucking, go out and do shit. And we were fucking out there on
How are we
this
talking
fucking... Listen, we were on this building site with all gravel.
Building
and-
site, man.
Yeah, because it was all we had to play on. We didn't have any parks. I grew up in a poor neighborhood. So we used to climb up the gravel pits and slide down or whatever, You're having a good time.
man.
Yeah, just, being retarded or whatever. And then we went over to this bush that was outside, obviously, what was the foreman's office or whatever. And, right, so I just started watching 18-plus films. So, I'd watch fucking RoboCop. I'd watch fucking,
Yep.
whatever, Predator, right? But, legit, we found this magazine, and it was, kind of alternative. I think it was an Escort, it was called. Escort is what they used to call it in Britain. An Escort is, you have, Fiesta, it's a bit high class, what Club International, super nice women. Escort is like your mum. You know what I mean?
Like your mom?
Yeah, it's gross.
Oh my God.
It's gross. It's gross women. You don't know, reamed out. They shouldn't be doing this. Someone should come in and go, you're going to be an escort? Like, darling, please. Like, please, don't do this. So desperate for the money. So we had this fucking thing, this magazine. I was showing it to my mates and we're flicking through. And honestly, it probably gave me issues to this day because it was the first time I'd ever seen the full spread. You know what I'm saying? The invite to the captain's table. You know what I'm talking about?
Got it.
Yeah. And shit, dude. I swear to God, that same fucking week or whatever, I'd watched my uncle had made me watch Alien with the face hugger.
Oh no, I know where you're going with this.
No, ain't nowhere to go. Ain't nowhere to go. I took one look at that. I was like, what is that? I'm amazed it didn't turn me queer. Because that was rough. That was rough.
All right.
That was a rough childhood experience, and they don't talk about that shit. There's a lot of British kids that have found magazines in hedgerows.
All right, Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, anyway.
She definitely spawned an interesting conversation there.
So what we were talking about was Carrie Fisher.
All right, we'll move on for Carrie Fisher. Who else there? We got George Michael next. I think Richard. George Michael, big fan of his music. Steven, you're a music guy.
Yeah, I had to play Careless Whisper when I was younger. That's his song, right?
Oh my.
Well, because for a very small period of time, I gigged with another group. Yep, that fucking lame-ass fucking song, yeah.
So not a big fan of George Michael's music.
No, not really. I mean, it's not bad. It's
no one's a fan of his music. What
do you mean? There's definitely
no
a few songs of his.
Fan of his
There's
music.
definitely a few songs of his I think that were really,
no,
really
fuck
good.
that. Like, look, terrible musician, good human being, dude.
Dude,
wait, isn't Careless Whisper like a super famous song?
It is.
Yeah, but like it's
like
gay.
Father Figure, Freedom, all those songs are. But those are my favorite songs of his.
Gay?
Yeah, in the old school fashion. I can't say it.
He's from the '80s, man. That's '80s music. I mean, it's just.
Nah, it's garbage. It's garbage, mate. All those songs are garbage,
dude. I'm telling, like, One More Try, Mother's Pride, all those songs were really, really good.
Come on,
actually,
dude.
he definitely had a few really good songs.
No, I didn't.
I didn't love his Wham phase, but
he wasn't fucking talented. But here's the point: he made a bunch of money because mediocrity is championed by our society.
Oh my! Can we move topics? I'm gonna get triggered as a musician now. Can we just move?
Yeah, I've seen you with your keyboard. Fuck you lounge act. Let's talk about George Michael's way more talented than you'll ever be.
Yeah, but you don't make money from music. You don't make money from music being. You don't make money from music being talented. That's retarded, and no one should ever try to make money from music just because you're talented. That's not how music or art works ever. There's no art in the history of all of mankind where you get paid more based on your level of talent. That's retarded.
Right. Yeah, whatever. True. Yeah, exactly. True. But the good news for you is, Stephen, it won't make a fucking blind bit of difference because your personality sucks. So I'm fucking with you. Relax. So the point is, right? George Michael, his music was shit, right? And everyone's going to come out now and talk about how he's a musical genius because he's dead. And he's dead at 53. And it's crazy young, right? But let's be real. No one's talking about, a lot of people are speculating he had HIV. No one's talking about
they're definitely being mum about it, how he died. He died peacefully at home. He died peacefully at home is exactly how they phrased it.
No, listen. 53-year-old, you die of fucking pneumonia on Christmas Day? That's crazy. I want to know why this guy really died. And here's the thing. It doesn't bother me if he died of AIDS or he died of pneumonia or he died of... George Michael's good people. Here's why I like George Michael. Because if you go out and you talk to people, how much money has he donated to charity? He donated almost all of it. Literally, this guy's an amazing human being. Any Christian who says he's not going to heaven because he's a fucking queer or whatever, like, fuck you. Fuck you. And there are definitely some people who say that, right? This guy's a good guy. But equally, I don't think a 53-year-old dies of fucking pneumonia or whatever it was. He had to quit a tour. He had to have a tracheotomy.
Yeah, obviously he had something else going on.
Yeah, there was something else going on, right?
Yep.
I want Destiny's opinion on this.
Wait, isn't pneumonia a pretty serious thing?
No, so this is what happened. So I don't know if he died of pneumonia like this week, but in 2011 he almost died of pneumonia, and since then,
who the fuck dies of almost
ever
pneumonia?
since then he barely hasn't done any music. I mean, he hasn't been very public at all.
Okay, so one of the big problems is that, and I'm just speaking generally, I don't know exactly what the case is here, is that a lot of people, some diseases sound not as bad as they really are because people call everything these diseases. Like the flu is a big example of that, right? The flu is a very serious disease that will put you on your ass for a week or two, right? But when you say the flu, a lot of people think, because anytime anybody gets a cold for like 3 days, they're like, oh, I just had a small flu or I had the flu or whatever, right? I think that people do the same thing with pneumonia. I think that pneumonia is a pretty fucking serious
pneumonia
disease.
can flood your lungs.
It's a pretty serious disease, but it's also the leading disease that kills people with AIDS. His former lover died of AIDS. George Michael didn't have an HIV test until 2007 because he didn't want to get into that shit because there was a stigma about AIDS. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, if his former lover died of AIDS?
Yeah, his former lover died of AIDS. That's on record. So here's the point. Here's the point. Like, you know, it's so fucked up that people are like, oh, gays and AIDS. But there was a period of time where, like, gay icons would just drop. I grew up with this. I remember the John Hurt advert. You can Google this. You'll love this one, Stephen. There was an advert where you had this huge black fucking obelisk. And it was John Hurt, and you know John Hurt's voice. AIDS. Like, it's mad. And I was like an 8-year-old kid or something. I was like, why the fuck? What is AIDS? I remember asking my mum, am I going to get AIDS? She went, no, you'll be a virgin. You're going to work in esports. You'll be all right. I said, but what if I do get it? She said, you'll only get it if you hang out with a guy called Destiny. So AIDS is fucking.
How did your mom know that I would bend you over the table and fuck you over the?
I don't know.
It's over a conversation on Brexit or
my
Trump.
mother was smart like that. My
That's
mother said. My mother even said. She said, you know, Stephen, he'll fuck you, but everything that comes out is he'll fuck you real nice, but everything that comes out his mouth is fucked up. That's what she said. Anyway, point being, you know, like Jesus Christ, like AIDS was the fucking boogeyman. And unfortunately, there was a huge generation that came out of that believed that if you got AIDS, you must be gay, you must be sick. There's songs. There's a song on the internet. It might have been by a band called Anal Cunt, so don't take it too serious. But there are stuff out there. Eazy-E got AIDS because he fucked men. And I think Anal Cunt's song was Eazy-E got AIDS off Freddie Mercury. Now, he definitely didn't. But the point is that everybody thought if you were gay, you had AIDS. So people who weren't gay, it turned out George Michael was, didn't want to come out and say that, you know, we got fuck it.
To add to what Richard Lewis is saying, this is actually a really big issue, I think, in the 60s as well in the United States. During, a lot of people criticized, was it Nancy Reagan on her position on HIV?
Yeah,
and a really big thing with Reagan was that in order for that administration to actually come out and say something about the AIDS epidemic, it took some little boy dying of AIDS for them to finally pass legislation like relating to it, or to make statements or whatever related to it. And then the legislation is named after that little boy too. And a lot of people make fun of it because it's like, well, that was the only way you were ever going to do anything about it, is if literally a little kid is dying from it, because otherwise you always like demonize people.
Because that was the proof. That was the proof.
Yeah.
You didn't get it from drugs. You didn't get it from fucking people in the ass. And that's what Republicans and conservatives feared most of all. So it was nonsense, right? So, yeah, man. I mean, Jesus.
All right.
Like George Michael, no, let's not move on. George Michael was gay, right? And he was a gay fucking icon. And he was with someone who got AIDS. And honestly, I think his death at 53, I think a lot of people covered it. Let me tell you about how cool this guy was. Go on the internet right now and look at how much he donated to charity. He even gave, like, just out of the blue, there was some person on fucking Deal or No Deal, which is a piece of shit show where you open a box and if the number's lower than the thing.
Yes, we know Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, you know, right? Yes. So there was somebody who went on there and said, I need cancer treatment. I need $15,000 to get chemo. George Michael was watching that episode and he gave that motherfucker 15K. Like, he's a good human being. Anybody who says he ain't, fuck him, you know? But unfortunately for him, I also think that he was a victim of a lifestyle choice and some shit that was going around at the time. And yeah, Rock Hudson got AIDS and fucking Benny Hill and all these people, Frankie Howard. You know, my entire childhood in the 80s was ravaged by people getting wrecked by AIDS. So, yeah, it sucks. It sucks, dude. Awareness is a good thing.
All right.
Awareness is a good thing.
No, Zsa Zsa Gabor. I don't think that's a...
Oh,
Sharon
yo,
Jones.
who's
Who
that,
are these?
though? I'm watching
Who are these
over
people?
here.
Oh, here we go. Alan Thicke.
Who's that fuck? All right.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure.
That's more one of Steven's people, right?
What happened?
Alan
Well, I don't
Thicke.
know who Alan Thicke is.
He was an actor on a pretty popular sitcom, I think, in the 80s. You watch Growing Pains, right, Steven?
Klaus Nomi? I know that dude died of AIDS. No, AIDS was a really big thing amongst Hollywood actors, singers, and
Actually,
whatnot.
who was Sharon
Like,
Jones? I
unspoken
forget.
thing.
Bunch of people said that to me.
You know, my mom is one of those people that thinks that AIDS was sent by God to punish people for being gay. Did you know that?
Who?
My mom.
No, but who thought what was? What?
My mom
AIDS?
thinks that the Gates is or AIDS,
Gates.
not Gates.
You just
Fuck
called
us.
it Gates.
My mom thinks that AIDS was one of those things sent by God to punish people for immoral lifestyle choices.
Really?
She's
Shit,
probably
dude.
not the
I've
only
seen them.
one.
No, I'll be legit with you. I've been at funerals and I've seen people say that shit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they've said the classic that what was it? Gays are the disease, but AIDS is the cure. You ever heard that one?
Oh shit,
Oh
dude!
my god! All
I
right,
haven't heard that one.
all right. Alan Thicke. I don't know if you guys have much to say on Alan Thicke. You even know who Alan Thicke is, Richard?
I didn't even know who the fuck he was.
You know who Robin Thicke is?
No, listen.
You know who
better
Robin Thicke
fucking
is, right?
Bring on my boy from Turner, dude.
He's coming. He's coming. No, believe
Yeah,
me.
he better happy.
He's coming.
Better
he's
fucking
coming.
happy. Because
Dude,
that dude was a fucking.
That dude was awesome.
I had to do
Right.
do his fucking obituary. I ain't never
Really?
had to do. Yeah, I've never had to do an on.
You're talking about Craig, right?
Yeah, Craig
Yeah,
Sager.
yeah. Okay.
Never
I mean,
had
Craig
to do
Sager's
an
probably
on-air
not on this
obituary.
list, given this is like an IMDb thing. But all right, Gene Wilder.
Yeah, Gene Wilder's
Yeah.
a fucking legend. Like legit, the guy's cool.
Willy Wonka.
But he was old, man. I mean, he was
he
getting
was.
on in
He lived a
years.
full life. That's
You
for
know,
sure.
and here's the thing: like, you can't even watch Blazing Saddles these days because of people like Steven.
People like Steven. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I tried to show it to some guys. I
Yes,
said,
yes.
hey, you're going to love this. It's a story about a black sheriff. He comes to a town of Rock Ridge and they don't accept him. And they went, oh, that sounds funny. And I said, yeah, they call him the M word. And they went, oh, well, no, that's problematic. And I went, well, who told you that? And they said, oh, well, we're regulars
Bonnell
on
did.
Destiny Channel. We all subscribe to Destiny. And I
All
said,
right.
well, you know, you need to make a choice. You can either be with that fucking Hillary Clinton supporting cucktard, or you can be with real comedy. You know.
Actually, let me just bring up Craig Sager.
That was an awkward silence. Steven, come on, help me out here.
You got it, dude.
Fuck you. Fuck
I
you.
actually I went through all of my artists to find out. I had to remove Kanye from my playlist because he
Yeah,
supported
dude,
Trump.
don't even
so
say-
I
right,
don't listen to him
Why are
anymore.
black people rejecting Kanye West? You must admit that is insane.
That is insane.
Right, I mean, when Trump is seen as a racist by a lot of fucking people, and your musical idol or whatever, is
Yeah, but falsely, Kanye West went to meet with Donald Trump to help black people get a better deal out of the American presidency, and they reject him for it. What is
I
it?
mean,
Kill me!
All
how
right.
about that?
Here's your boy, Craig Sager.
Yo.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
right. After the Craig Sager thing, I gotta take a break.
Uh-oh.
God, you're gonna fall fucking over the way you're going right now.
No, dude, I can drink 10 more bottles of this liquor.
All right, let's talk Craig Sager. For those who don't know who Craig Sager is,
about Craig Sager.
Craig Sager is a report.
Know who Craig Sager is.
A lot of people
Does it-
don't. They don't follow basketball. They don't know who he is.
Nah, it don't matter. It don't matter. Like I didn't follow that shit. I went to Turner, and
I followed
was
him
very-
for a long time, but
yeah, it was. I'll tell you some stories from inside the Turner machine. I was in the company, and you know, like they treat all the anchors, of which I'm one, by the way, like with the same respect. The guy who's gonna do the interviews and that, and there was this weird, palpable like atmosphere, because by the time I got there, he was sick. I didn't know. I legit didn't know. And I didn't know anybody. People came up to me and they were going, "Hey, yeah, oh, you talked to Craig?" And who's Craig? So at the start, I didn't really realize like how much of a big old family it was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like a week before he passed, there was people, because this is the thing people also don't realize. In Turner, the people that produced the Counter-Strike show, they're the people that produce inside the NBA.
Yep.
They're the people. They're all Emmy winners. You know, they're all. So we were, and this is why they hire guys like Doran, because if you know a guy like
he knows basketball too.
Yeah, he definitely does. No, but it ain't that. If you know a guy who knows how to be colorful, and yeah, certainly. Mr. Sega was a different beast entirely, a Thorin, but he knows how to be flamboyant.
And he was playing, and what he's getting at is like he used to wear these awesome, like you can see his coats right here. Famous
I don't know people.
Famous for wearing. Look at these coats, guys. He's famous for all his. I think.
So on the day he passed away, it was fucking rough. It was real rough. Because there was people in the studio that were working on this fucking gaming show on E-League that I literally worked with this guy. This guy was at the company for 3 fucking decades. You know?
Yep.
Like, so they're like, oh, okay, we just got to get up and do this fucking gaming thing. There was a bunch of people who were really upset. And I didn't know, because I'm still new there. I've been there I haven't been there a full year. So I'm walking around, and then I get handed this thing, a piece of paper, and they say, you're going to do the eulogy for this guy. And I'm like, what the fuck? There ain't no way. Because I know who this guy is, and I ain't followed basketball since Johnny Stockton was dribbling around for the Jazz. You know? Yeah, a long time ago. And they said, no, but we got to close out the show, and you got to do it. And the producer and everybody, I mean, they're devastated. I mean, they're in my ear, you know. I can hear them. They're fucking, they work with this guy for 30 fucking years. So I got to do it. I got to nail it. I got to fucking nail this, you know. So we did it. We did it at the end of the broadcast. They handed over. I got to somehow try and do this guy. I'm not fit to lace his shoes. Like, I got to do this guy justice. So we did this thing. We fucking did it, dude. And then when I came out, like literal, like TV executives, you know, they come down. They're going, oh, your eulogy was amazing. And I'm like, thanks. Didn't write it, but thanks. And they're like, yeah, no. You did a good thing. Thank you. It was crazy. It's like a real family thing over at Turner. People don't realize it.
He is a really, from everything I heard, and obviously I didn't know the guy like you did, but, you know, it's just all the interviews you see with all the folks that did work with him, all, you know, Shaq.
No, but I mean, even this is the thing, even the players, dude.
Yeah, the players love him too.
The players come over to me and they want to talk about esports. But before they even get into it, they say, oh, you did that great eulogy. You know? Yeah. It's fucked up. Because I don't feel like part of that, you know? Like, why am I the guy? I shouldn't be the guy. I'm nobody. I just turned up. But it was tough. That was a real rough week. I mean, anybody who thinks like corporate culture doesn't fucking respect its members or whatever, like, straight up, dude, this guy was obviously a big deal, and I knew him, and I knew who he was, and I knew what he did. But I never had the pleasure of meeting the guy. Well, and I'm the guy that's got to give the fucking eulogy. It was unreal. It was like an honor, but at the same time, like, you know, it tore me up because I thought, how can I do this? So it was a tough one.
You know, that sounds amazing. I mean, the thing about Craig Sager is that I feel like Craig was underappreciated for a long time, and it wasn't until he got sick that that you really got to see, people started to appreciate just him as an interviewer, sideline reporter. You could see the players, just responding to him more. Nothing made me more happy as a sports fan, a huge basketball fan, than him getting to work in an NBA finals, like this past finals. He got to work. He got to work Game 4, which he hasn't gotten the chance to work a finals in 30 years. I just couldn't believe that. That was like crazy. And then he got to work it. It
was like, I mean, again, you got to understand, everyone around the fucking network was rooting for him.
Yeah.
All the play, like they would have done anything to have him there for that. And it was real bad. Like I remember I was on the desk. We just finished everything, and they said, "Hey, Rich, you got to read this." And the fucking staff brought over the eulogy, and I said, "Like, guys, like, 'cause this is the thing. The entire season, I've been saying I don't want to read off a teleprompter because I don't." And they said to me, like, "Shit, like, okay, we'll fire not fire, but we'll get rid of the teleprompter." And when it's anything important, I don't want to have to memorize it. I'm terrified I'll fuck it up. So they put it in front of me, and they were like, "Look, we don't have a teleprompter for this, but you're going live. You're going live."
Wow, that's crazy.
They sent Doran, they sent Moses off.
Is this you? Oh my God!
Wow, I'm alone on the desk, and I've got to somehow do justice to this guy. This guy, like, again, not fit to lace his fucking shoes. And I gotta do justice to it. And I was terrified, dude. Terrified. I'm gonna fuck it up. And we do it, and I'm there, and I'm trying to look down on the table. And they did this video, man. And it was like all his best moments.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and obviously I can hear the production up there, and they're going, "Hey, you can go. You did a great job, Richard." I didn't want to go, man. I want to watch this video. Like, maybe one day that'll be me, And I watched it, and they did this great fucking job for him. They did a great job for him. And it was really weird, because I went backstage, and all the production guys had gone. All the guys who worked on my show had already left. I was like, where are they? Because normally they're here, They'd gone because they were devastated. They were fucked up. That video wrecked them. And it's because they worked with him. All the people I work on E-League work on this fucking show,
Yeah.
And even the people, like, right down, who give us the water, and fill the fridges up with the drinks. They're like, shit, man. Mr. Sager looked after us real good and stuff. It was tough. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Because even though I never met the guy, it was brutal. That was hard. That was a hard one. Because I felt connected to that, even though I never met the guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing when somebody has had that much that much impact on a lot of people, and it wasn't just working with him. Obviously, he had some kind of personal impact on a lot of people too. Just the person he is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to take a quick break? Man, we're going long.
Definitely
dude.
do.
We gotta wrap up soon, actually.
And I'm watching him. Why didn't Stephen play the piano over that? That would have been perfect.
Oh, that would have been beautiful. Oh my God, that would have been beautiful.
Oh my
God. Why didn't you do that?
Yeah, dude.
Listen, maybe someday I will for you guys. But after Richard Lewis made so much fun of my piano playing earlier, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing it.
You could be our piano
man.
What have I ever made? Be our piano man. We could have like a combination of Unfiltered and Piano Man. All right, go. All right, we'll come back for the last part of the show, guys.